Genesis chapter 13. And Abram went up out of Egypt, he and his wife, and all that he had, and Lot with him, into the south. And Abram was very rich in cattle, silver, and gold. He went on his journeys from the south even to Bethel, unto the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Hel, unto the place of the altar which he had made there at the first, and there Abram called on the name of the Lord. And Lot also, which went with Abram, had flocks and herds and tents. And the land was not able to bear them, that they might dwell together, for their substance was great, so that they could not dwell together. And there was a strife between the herdmen of Abram's cattle and the herdmen of Lot's cattle, and the Canaanite and the Perizzite dwelled in the land. And Abram said unto Lot, Let there be no strife, I pray thee, between me and thee, and between my herdmen and your herdmen, for we are brethren. Is not this whole land before you? Separate yourself, I pray thee, from me. If you will take the left hand, then I will go to the right. Or if you depart to the right hand, then I will go to the left. And Lot lifted up his eyes, and beheld all the plain of Jordan, and it was well watered everywhere, before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, even as the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, as you comest unto Zoar. Then Lot chose him all the plains of Jordan, and Lot journeyed east, and they separated themselves the one from the other. Abram dwelt in the land of Canaan, and Lot dwelt in the cities of the plain, and pitched his tent toward Sodom. But the men of Sodom were wicked and sinners before the Lord exceedingly. And the Lord said unto Abram, after that Lot was separated from him, Lift up now your eyes, and look from the place where you are, northward, and southward, eastward, and westward, for all the land which you see, to you I will give it, and to you seed ours forever. And I will make your seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man can number the dust of the earth, there shall thy seed also be numbered. Arise and walk through the land, in the length of it and in the breadth of it, for I will give it unto you. Then Abram removed his tent, and came and dwelled in the plain of Mamre, which is at Hebron, and built there an altar unto the Lord. Genesis chapter 14. And it came to pass in the days of Amraphel, king of Shinar, and Arioch, king of Elazar, Shadorlammar, king of Elam, and Tadaliah, king of nations, that those made war with Bera, king of Sodom, and with Bersha, king of Gomorrah, Shinab, king of Admah, and Shememba, king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, which is Zoar. All these were joined together in the vale of Siddim, which is the salt sea. 12 years they served Shadorlammar, and to the 13th year they rebelled. And in the 14th year came Shadorlammar, and the kings that were with him, and smote the Rephaims in Ashtaroth, Canarim, and the Zerzims in Ham, and the Emims in Sheveh Kiriathaim, and the Horites in their Mount Zeir unto El Paran, which is by the wilderness. And they returned and came to En Mishpat, which is Kadesh, and smote all of the country, the Amalekites, and also the Amorites that dwelt in Hazalon Tamar. And there went out the king of Sodom, and the king of Gomorrah, and the king of Admah, and the king of Zobium, the king of Bela, the same is Zoar. And they joined in battle with them to the vale of Siddim, with Chaldolammar, the king of Elam, and with Tidal, the king of nations, and Amraphel, king of Shinar, and Ariel, king of Elazar, 4 kings with 5. And the vale of Sidon was the full of slime pits. And the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled, and they fell there. And they that remained, they fled to the mountain. And they took all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah, and all of their victuals, and went their way. And they took Lot, Abraham's brother's son, who dwelt in Sodom, and his goods, and they departed. And there came out one that had escaped, and told Abraham the Hebrew, for he dwelt in the plain of Mamre, the Amorite, the brother of Eshcol, and the brother of Anar, and these were confederates with Abraham. And when Abraham heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his trained servants, born in his own house, 318, and pursued them unto Dan. And he divided himself against them, he and his servants, by night, and they smote them, and pursued them unto Hobah, which is on the left hand of Damascus. And he brought back all of the goods, and also brought again his brother Lot and his goods, and the woman also, and the people. And the king of Sodom went out to meet him after his return from the slaughter of Chedorlaomer, and of the kings that were with him at the valley of Shavah, which is the king's dale. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High God. And he blessed him and said, Blessed be Abram of the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth, and blessed be the Most High God, which hath delivered your enemies into your hand. And he gave him tithes of all. And the king of Sodom and said unto Abraham, Give me the persons, and take the goods to yourself. And Abraham said to the king of Sodom, I have lifted up my hand unto the Lord, the Most High God, the possessor of heaven and earth, that I will not take from a thread even to a shoelace, and that I will not take anything that is yours, lest you should say, I have made Abraham rich, save only that which the young men have eaten, and the portion of the men which went with me, Anar, Eshcol, and Mamre. Let them take their own portion. Genesis chapter 15. After these things, the word of the Lord came unto Abraham in a vision, saying, Fear not, Abraham, I am your shield and your exceeding great reward. And Abraham said, Lord God, what will you give me, seeing that I am childless, and the steward of my house is this Eliezer of Damascus? And Abraham said, Behold to me that you hast given me no seed, and lo, one born in my house is mine heir. And behold, the word of the Lord came unto Abraham, saying, This shall not be your heir, but he that shall come forth out of your own bowels shall be your heir. And he brought him forth abroad, and said, Look now toward the heaven, and tell the stars, if you be able to number them. And he said unto him, So shall your seed be. And he believed in the Lord, and he counted it to him for righteousness. And he said unto him, I am the Lord that brought you out of Ur of Chaldees, to give you this land to inherit it. And he said, Lord God, whereby shall I know that I shall inherit it? And he said unto him, Take me a heifer of 3 years old, and a she-goat of 3 years old, and a ram 3 years old, and a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. And he took unto him all of these, and he divided them in the midst, and laid each piece one against another, but the birds divided he not. And when the fowls came down upon the carcasses, Abraham drove them away. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abraham, and lo, an horror of great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abraham, Know of a surety that your seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them for 400 years. and also that nation whom you shall serve, or they shall serve, will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with a great substance. And you shalt go to thy fathers in peace. You shall be buried in a good old age. But in the fourth generation they shall come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. And it came to pass that when the sun went down and it was dark, behold, a smoking furnace and a burning lamp that passed between those pieces. And in the same day the Lord made a covenant with Abraham, saying, Unto your seed have I given you this land, from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates, the Canaanites and the Kenizzites and the Cadmonites and the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Rephaims, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Girgashites, and the Jebusites.